discuss of
So
course.
basically, we need to write the LaTeX source code
We'll discuss
for
of
this
course.
document, and
Okay.
in order for us
In the
to
life, you don't want
type this, it is
it.
clearly saying that this is the title and this is the author,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then we have
Mm.
department followed by the abstract
Yeah.
and the introduction.
Abstract.
So
Introduction.
what I'm going to do now is I can easily write the code for the title along with the author and the date.
Mm.
So in
Mm.
place of the date, I can put Department of Mathematics, Lagos State University, depending on how I want the code to be. Then after that, I'll go ahead
Okay.
and put in the abstract, then section follows. So the first thing you need to consider in your document, you are going to consider whether it is in chapters or it is in sections. So
Or
looking
it
at
is session.
exactly, so looking at this document, it is clearly saying that this is an article in form of section. We have section 1,
Session.
section 2,
Session one
section
and
subsection.
session.
We have subsection 1.1,
Subsession
subsection 1.2.
1.2.
Now, in order for you to write the LaTeX source code, the first thing that should come to your mind is to always start with a document class. State the kind of document that you want to create. Is an article. Alright, so I'm not going to use reports in this
Yeah.
case since my document does not include chapters. So I'm going to write the
Yeah.
first code I'm going to write now, the first line code I'm going to write, which is number 1, should be, so the command I'll be using to write this article is backslash
It's like
document
backslash
class,
document class.
document class.
Class.
Okay, so I
Yes.
want this document to be in A4 paper size, right? And it must be 11 pt, 11 points, right? 11 pt,
Yes.
and it must be A4 paper size. All right,
Just full around there.
so this is what we are going to have. Then always take note that the 11 pt and the A4 paper size will be in square
Square
brackets,
bracket
while the article
will be on it.
will
Will
be
be on
inside
equally.
the curly bracket. So this is the first line code I'm going to write. I want to create a document. What class of document do I want to create? An article, and there's always the article is should maintain an A4 paper size and with 11 pt.
Yeah.
So once I've been able to do that, then I need to define the geometry for this document. I notice that there's a space between this equation 1 and the extreme of this document, and I also notice that there's a space
Okay.
between this math and the extreme of this document to the left side. So how are you going to
Mm.
define those spacing? How can you state those geometry? So the command for it
You,
is
you,
actually is a
you
package. All
use
right, so
slash
you use backslash
use
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 package,
package.
right? Use package,
Mm.
and then for the backslash use package, and I can now open a what? I'll open a square
It's
bracket
a square bracket.
and then give the measurement I want for
Measurement
the
left,
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 top. So now I
right,
want
top, and
good. So I want the left to maintain 2.5 cm. All right, and at the
2.5.
same time
Mm-hmm.
I want the right. So remember that we are using small letter for everything. Okay,
Yes.
right. I also maintain. I want it to be 2.5 cm too as well. And then we have the top. The top should also maintain 2.5 cm, and then the bottom. There is not enough space, but let me just continue typing.
Just continue.
And the bottom too should maintain 2.5 cm. So once you
Okay.
use
When we are,
this, once you are
my
done with,
question are you must write. Are you writing equals to?
yes, equal to, yeah, yeah, you must put equal to sign,
Okay.
yeah, it must be equals to
Okay.
the measurements you want to use. And then inside this
Yeah.
curly brackets, we are trying to
Now
define
write
it in
geometry.
geometry exactly. We will define it by geometry. So that's it. So I've been able
Mm.
to state the kind of document I want to create. It's an article,
Yes.
that is in form of section, and it must maintain an A4 paper size and also with 11 pt, right? And then the
Mm.
package
Yes.
is this second line code represents the line spacing, okay, for the geometry. So the spacing I want
Mm.
on the left side, right, bottom, and top of the document. So we have been able to define that So then the third thing now is for us to bring in
Is
our title,
make
right?
title.
Our
Make
title,
make title.
author, and date,
Mm.
right? So we are going to write the code for title, and the command for creating a title is backslash title, still mean as title, okay? Then you are going to open
Mm.
a curly bracket and then put in the details of your title inside. So I'm going to write, so you are going to type math 813, okay? Math 813, then you put the colon sign, the two colon sign, right? Then you write
Mm.
information technology, information. So if you type this on LaTeX, it will definitely generate the titles, but not yet until we begin document and then end the document. So I'm trying to write what we have, research
What is okay?
methodology.
Okay. Are you? Is it slash Richard
Yeah,
research?
slash slash, yeah, sure. I'm typing I'm writing what we have as a title. Because my
Okay.
handwriting is not straight. I don't know, like this, right? It's slash, yeah.
Okay.
So we have the
Mm.
methodology, and then I'm going to close the curly bracket. I think this is the title, Abby. Then
Yes.
the next input now should be author, right?
Is it date?
Yeah,
Auto.
of course, it's
Auto.
author.
Yes.
I'm following what we have. I've already I've already input the title. The next thing is author, so you follow it backslash author. Remember that you start a small letter, please remember. So so we have it as, can you still hear me, ma? So we have it as author, author. Then I'm going to define what we have as the author, and that is Mazara Collins Williams. So I have, can you hear me, ma?
Yes.
So this is spelled as author, please take note, Thor. So then we have
Okay.
Collins, Mazara Collins Williams, and it's in capital letter. Please write it the way it is
Yes.
given. It's very, very important.
Yes.
Williams. Then I'll close it. So then the fifth line code should come with date automatically. This place is meant to be date most time when it comes to
Mm.
article, trying to create a title. The last thing that should come after author is date. So if I use this command and I write date, even though if I decide not to put dates, and then you go ahead and start with begin document, and then you call out the title by using the command as make
Mm.
title. If you now
Mm.
generate, once you end the document and you generate, you notice that the date will automatically show. It will actually give you
Yes.
today's date, but since date is not given here, then that means you have to input the date command and then leave it blank, so that it's not going to display at the end of the day. If you not put this date in
Okay.
your code and then you go ahead and begin document and then you use make title and then you end the document, if you generate that code, then you get to notice that automatically date will be displayed. Date will actually come out in your final work. It will come out as the output. So it's better you just put the date there and then leave it empty. So the other way around is, since dates, whatever you put inside it, this date will display. If you leave it empty, it's going to be empty. What if I put Department of Mathematics, Lagos State University? It's still going to display it, which is very, very true.
Okay.
So is
Okay.
either you slot in this into where you have dates, which is still going to display the way you have it here, or you just leave the date
Mm.
empty and we'll come back to the command that will display this. All right. So
Okay.
then after this now, then the next thing that should come in is begin document. Before you even start abstract
Okay.
at all right, our document begins from here, so please take notes.
Okay.
All right. So then the sixth
Okay.
code I'm going to write here now is to begin my document. All right, begin document. So if I begin document now, automatically I must end it, right? So I noticed one thing.
Mm.
We have some mathematical expressions here, okay, like this max. So we still need to add more packages. We still need to add more packages that will make
Okay,
all these things. Yeah, we have
to get that. Okay.
exactly. So, but at least let's just start with this. Once we need those packages, because after writing everything, I will now have to type it on
Okay.
overleaf and then generate and see how it looks like. So, to the case of equation one now, okay, there are some package that you can use, like use package ArmSmart. We have use
Mm.
package SYMB symbols for ArmSmart and the likes. So I will try to give you the important packages that you must definitely know at all time. But still, let's still
Mm.
stick with this, just one package for now. This package for geometry, that's the one we use for now. All right. So
Yeah.
since we don't have any diagram or any figure in our document, so I don't need to use package for graphics. So I didn't we have any diagram in our work, then you use package as graphics or something like that. But let's still maintain what
Mm.
we have. So begin document. So what are we going to start with? For begin document now, immediately you begin the document, remember that you want to display the title, you want the author to be displayed, and
Mhm.
then you want the date to be empty because date is not stated here. So and I said you can
Mm.
replace, let's replace it with, instead of dates, let's replace this inside and see what you're going to have. But I said we'll come back for it, Abby. Let's leave it for now.
Mm.
So then once you
Okay.
begin document, in order for you to display title, if you want title, author and dates to display
Yes. Okay.
in the first part of your document, then you have to use this command backslash make title. Without this backslash make title, this title, author and dates will not come out in your final
Appear.
document. It will not
Okay.
appear. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It will not appear. So you use the command backslash make title. So and always take note, this make title should come immediately after the begin document. Because
Okay.
if you put it before begin document, it's not going to maintain the geometry you have been able to
Okay.
configure here. It
Okay.
is not going to maintain that geometry. You see that it will end up falling on the left part of your document. So once I have been able to make title, that means
Mm-hmm.
this make title is going to let this appear in your final work. This is going to appear and then the date will be empty. So since we already have this first two appearing in our document, so the next thing I need is Department of Mathematics. So I can decide to, since this date is empty now, it's going to take this third line as empty. So if I write anything here, that means I'm going to have a one paragraph space, and then whatever I write in, I will now appear on the third line, which is not really perfect. So that's why I said I prefer to even insert the Department of Mathematics here. At the end of the day, that's still what we will do. Okay, I'm very sure that's what we
Mm.
are going to do. So but let's still leave this part alone. So now let's move to abstract. So there is a command for abstract, and the command is backslash begin abstract and then end it. Begin what?
Abstract.
Abstract, and then you end it as well. So what is the details in my abstract? I have it as this, and it's not centralized, it's not at the center. Had it been this statement here
Mm.
is at the center, is centralized, then I need to use another command again, begin center, and then write the statement
Okay.
we have in the abstract, then end center, and then finally end the abstract. Do you understand that? But since this
Mm.
statement here is not at the center, then I'm free to just go ahead and write the statement here. I'm going to write here the student, putting the details here, the student competence in typesetting, competence in typesetting with LaTeX. LaTeX is measured. But there is one thing I need you to take note in this case now. Do you know that if you write it this way, it's not going to appear like this? So there is a command For you to
This
dis
particular.
yes, just use backslash instead of typing latex. Right, just use backslash latex. Alright, then straight up is going to display it in this form. There's no need for dollar sign or there's no need for just use backslash latex. It's going to appear in this format. Alright, then you make sure you
Okay.
put, if you see
Okay.
full stop, put full stop. This is very, very important. Alright, then we are done with our abstract. You can go ahead and what, end the document, and sorry, not end document, end abstract. Right,
Mm.
end abstract. So once you've been able to do this, so you know the next thing to do, right? You can now, let me drag this up. So I'm going to take it step by step. We are still going to, I'll type this. Once you get to the next stage, I'm going to go ahead and type it. So now this is for begin abstract, and we've been able to end the abstract. So now we have section 1. So that means on the next line code, I'm going to write section. I need section to appear as introduction, and the command for section is backslash section, small letter, section, and then you put what, introduction inside. Are you getting it, ma?
Yes.
I put introduction in it. So after introduction, I don't have anything for introduction except another subsection, which is titled
Yes.
overview. So I didn't mean I have any other details under this introduction. I'll just go ahead and start
You
typing
just
it.
write it.
But the next thing is subsection. So I'll go to the next line code, and I'm going to write subsection. This is subsection. Subsection will always have just 1 point. Subsection we definitely have 2 points. Alright? That is
Mm.
1.1.1 in, and so on and so forth. So what we need to do next. Please, sorry, ma, I want to pick a call. I'm coming.
Okay.
So sorry for that, and let's continue from where we actually stopped. So I said the next thing is overview, right? And it's in subsection.
Mm.
So it's a subsection. So I'll
Mm.
write subsection, and then put in overview, right?
Mm.
Overview. So once I have this, then you know what to do next. You start typing. Okay, what are the
It's to
details I have under
type.
this?
Yes.
So this one now is the linear system u prime. So I said if you want to write any mathematical expression, okay,
You
and if
put
and if
use
that,
dollar sign.
yeah, and if that if the mathematical expression is not standing on its own, if it's not standing on its own, then just use a single dollar sign. Begin with a single dollar sign and then end it with a single dollar sign. But it being this
Yes.
thing here is standing on its own,
You
something
use
like
double dollar sign.
something like this. Can you see? This is a, a full mathematical expression that is standing on its own, right? So if it's something like this, then you
Yes.
need to use double dollar sign.
Doubles
You begin with a double
and
dollar
yes.
sign and then you end it with double dollar sign. But if it is an
Mm.
equation, if it's standing on its own and then it's being tagged, so we call it an equation. So you don't need to use dollar sign for it or something like this. So that's the basic
Mm.
concept. Okay, if it's an equation, you don't start with it, you don't even need dollar sign. All right, just use the right command, which is begin equation. So once we get there, I'll definitely explain it better. All right, so now that you know how to
Yes.
use, now that you know when to use single dollar sign, double dollar sign, and when you are supposed to use equation, begin equation. So now let's go ahead and write this. So this means I'm going to write the linear system the way we have it there, small letter L, the linear system, and then I have a mathematical expression there, right? So always remember you need a dollar sign, which is very, very important, right?
Yes.
And then what do you have next? U. Then I have
You.
prime. This prime now is in index form, all right? Is in index form. So I need this exponential sign, and then don't just
Yeah.
use this symbol that you have on your keyboard. Use the right
Mm.
command for it, and the right command for it is backslash prime. All right,
Okay.
so this is the right symbol, backslash prime. So this is going to appear as u raised to the power of prime, just like the way you have it here. Then equal to
Okay.
remain as equal to, and then I have my capital A, and I have my small letter u, then plus.
U
Now this symbol
plus
here is called phi, right?
phi. Is it phi or pi?
Phi.
Phi. Okay.
F, yeah, phi.
Phi. Okay.
Phi of x. So I'm going to, after plus, then I need backslash. Phi is going to produce that symbol. Then always remember that you can leave a space. Don't just join the bracket with it. You can just leave a space and
Mm.
then open a bracket, then type x, put it inside brackets. And since I've started with the dollar sign and my mathematical expression ends here, so I need to end it with a dollar sign just to notify
Okay.
LaTeX that okay, this is where my mathematical expression stop. So then I'll go
The
ahead and
expression
type
stuff.
is said to be Steve if. So the next thing that I need to do now, I notice this thing here is in Roman figure. Okay, is an item. All right, it's an
Yes.
item and is in Roman figure.
Mm.
So there are some things that I need to take note when it comes to
Understand.
listing of items. So
Okay.
when it comes to
What will you
listing,
do?
in Microsoft Word we have some listing in this form when you use bullets.
Yes.
There's another listing when you use numbers. There's another listing when you
Mm-hmm.
use alphabets. And then we now
Mm-hmm.
have listing for what? For Roman figure. So
Roman.
for
Yeah.
Roman
Roman
figures.
numeral.
Roman numeral, thank you. So now
Yes.
what we need here now is that of the Roman numerals, right?
Roman numeral. Numeral.
Roman numeral. So
Yes.
and then each of these have their own command in LaTeX. For this one, if you want your
Okay.
listing to
Yeah.
appear in bullet form, we always begin with, take notes, you can jot it somewhere. We always begin with itemize. Begin itemize.
Okay. Itemize.
Use this command, begin itemize. If you want
Okay.
your
Begin itemize for bullets.
for bullet, yes.
Eh? Okay.
Itemize for bullets. So you
Are you
use
using slash? Are you going to use slash? Are you going to use
backslash
slash?
begin. My keyboard is having issues. That's why my handwriting is not that showing clearly.
Okay.
Like you don't understand.
Begin
The same
itemize.
pattern, like the
Yeah.
command for
Begin
this
itemize.
begin here. Itemize will be inside the curly bracket. Do you understand that? Just normal way of writing it.
Okay. Okay.
So is that clear, ma?
Yes.
So that is for bullets. Now for numbering,
What
like
about for number?
for
For
this
numbering?
Arabic, right? So this Arabic numerals, and for Arabic numerals we always use it as backslash begin. So for numbers we use enumerate.
Okay.
What
For
does that
number, you use what?
enumerate?
Okay.
Enumerate. Yes.
Backslash. Is it backslash enumerate?
No, begin. You always begin. If you want to start any code,
Okay.
so the command for
Begin.
this one is begin enumerate. Once you are done listing the items, you can now end the enumerate. Anything you begin, you must end it.
Okay.
So always take notes.
Okay. For Arabic, what? Which one do you use?
For numbering, for these Arabic numerals, we always use enumerate. That's what I said.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Take notes. And then
Then for letters.
now for this letter here, A B C, for listing in terms of A B C, can you hear me, ma?
Mm,
We always use this form. You also use begin, enumerate. You also use begin, enumerate. But in addition to this, you now open a square bracket, and inside that square bracket, that is where you are going to state the kind of numbering that you want. Can you hear me, ma?
okay. Yes.
So inside this part here, now that's where you are going to insert your. Okay, what this is alphabet, right?
Yes.
This is alphabet, right?
Yes.
So now the command that is going to bring out this alphabet is that I want to label my item in alphabetical order, which means I'm going inside this square bracket now. I'm going to type label. What type of label do I want? Label is equals to backslash. Are you following, ma?
Yes.
I want to label the items, this item So that's what I'm trying to write here.
Mm.
Label the item. That is, I will now use equal to. What type of label do you want? Alphabet. So for alphabet, you use
Yes.
alph without putting the A. You just use alph,
What did you
short,
use?
like the first four letter of alphabet.
Okay.
And then always remember to put star there. Always remember to put star. Hey, if I don't take light too.
Okay. Are you going to add the A? Okay,
I
now put
said
the star at the up.
yeah, just put star there.
Hey, okay,
So then you get
we
to
are going
play around it, sha. Once you start typing,
to
you will try to remove the star and then see what's going to happen. Okay, so that's just how to learn. So label is equals to backslash alph, the first four letter. That's what we are going to consider. So now let's come back to what we have. This is what we want to type now. So there are two ways of doing this. Is either you okay? Are you ready, man? Can you still hear me?
yes.
So sometimes if you don't want to use this begin enumerate, going through the stress of label, half, and the likes, if you want to do it manually, you can do it manually. To do it manually, that means I notice that this I is not under this D, like it's not aligning with where THE is. It's just like there's a paragraph here. So
Yes, yes, yes.
sometimes you have to leave for line code 11, you will leave that space. You are not going to put anything there. Once you move to the next line of code, all right, and then you type,
Mm,
and then you open a bracket, and then you put I, and then you close it, automatically speaking, it's going to create
mm.
this paragraph for you because of this one line that you've left.
Okay.
It's going to create this paragraph for you. So you
Okay.
now do the same thing
Okay.
for line code 13. You leave it blank. You now go to the next one and then open another bracket and then put I. Okay, then you now start
Okay.
typing. Okay, this is a mathematical expression. Then what is this command? Is it residue? So you don't know yet. So there should be a symbol for this. If you type normal RE, no problem. It's going to appear as RE. Alright? But okay, what if
Mm,
you use backslash R? But if you want this, I think there should be a command for it that will definitely bring it out in this form. If you type RE, it's going to appear in the same form. Just looking at it, do I have any capital
mm,
letter R so far? See how capital letter R looks like. So it's still the same thing. It looks like just
mm,
that is in bold form or something like that. So there's a command for this RE. RE is a residue, I think. RE, probably if it's residue, I
mm,
don't know. Probably it's residue based on the definition we actually have here for a linear system. So I don't know yet. So let's say I'm doing it manually. I left a space. That space will automatically create this paragraph for me. This short paragraph I have here. And then I type I. Let's say I want my expression, my mathematical expression to start from here and end here. Okay. So I'm going to write it as
mm,
so is either you start with RE if you want to get rid of the symbol for this one. After typing RE, then you start your dollar sign, and then you have this lambda subscript. That's subscript T if I'm not mistaken. So lambda, the command for lambda is still backslash lambda, small letter L, please take note. Lam, then DA, that's the command for lambda. Then for you to put a subscript, you are going to use underscore. Underscore represents subscript.
okay.
So if you have more than one subscript, how many
Mm.
subscript do you have here? Just one, T. Let's say you have
Just one.
let's say you have T square. That means I have two items in that subscript. I have T and I have another square. So if you just go ahead and type T then square, it's not going to appear in that form until you combine the two of them in a curly bracket. Okay, then it will
In a
now
curly
appear.
bracket.
Yeah, I should always take note. But since T is just
Okay,
T,
you put T. Okay.
since we only have a single item here, then if you write T, no problem. Okay, but it being you have it as lambda 2t, subscript 2t, and then you write lambda underscore 2t. By the time you generate the code, the only thing that
Mm,
is going to appear in this one lambda. It will only take that 2 as subscript, and then it t will stand on its own.
Okay.
So always take note. So if you have more than one item, so if you have more than one item, make sure that you put the two two or more items inside a curly bracket. So it's going to combine the two and then take everything inside that curly bracket as subscript. So that's just the concept. So here
Mm.
in this case, I have it as subscript T. I have it as subscript T, and I have less than zero. Do you know the command for less than? The command for less than we always use you can use less than, it's still less than. I think when you have less than or equal to, then you use leq, L-E-Q. But it's just normal less than. So you can write your
Mm.
normal less than, alright? It will still appear.
Okay.
It will still
Okay.
appear. Less than zero, then you have comma. So still yet there is no, it's not that we have any space here. So I didn't know there's a space. I will just use the backslash quad command. So but I'll just go ahead and type my t equals to 1 2. Now you notice there's an ellipsis here. We have an ellipsis here, right? Three dots. So I used to going to
Yeah.
type the three dots.
Yeah.
This ellipsis, like these three dots.
Are you going to just type it like that?
No,
Mm.
there is a command that can display this, and it's called L dots. L dots. Sometimes we use C dots. Okay, so these two things we are going to try it
Okay.
and see the difference. Okay, we are going to run it. We are going to run the code and then see the difference. So I will prefer L dots. L dots will automatically display these three dots for you. All right, comma.
Is it slash? Is it slash air dot?
For any command, always use slash. Take note. Always use is a command, so I always use slash. Do you understand?
Okay.
For any command you want to write,
Okay.
always use backslash. So that is backslash L dot. Then I have my M. Then I have comma, or probably you can end it and then put your comma after that. Okay, so you are going to do the same thing for this one too. Max is having its own subscript, you know. So for this max now,
Mm.
I hope you are following.
Yes.
I've entered
Yes.
this one and I've put and after the comma, so I've inserted the and that is there. So
Yes. Yeah.
now for the second item, which is I have it as max. Alright, I have it as max, and max, the command for max is for max. So I can start with a dollar sign as usual, right? So then this max now, I don't want to write it as max, or else the font is going to look in a is going to it's not going to look like this. If you put the max inside this dollar sign, the way
Yes.
text appears under dollar sign is quite different from if you write it normally. So in order to avoid that, use backslash text just to instruct it that I want to put my text, let it appear as text. This max should appear as text. I think there's another command for max, probably maybe backslash max, but we'll get to know. You know, you can't know everything until you try it. Okay, the more you try, the more
Yeah.
you get
Try.
into it. So but let's say I want to use the normal max, then I should write text. Is a text, see it as max. Then I have a subscript, right? I have a subscript there, and that subscript is not
Mm.
just one. We have more than one item in that subscript. We have t, we have equal to, we have one, we have two, and so on and so forth. So all those subscripts we move into the curly bracket, and then I'll type t is equals to 1 2. I have an ellipsis there, so I'll use the L dot command, comma, and then put my m and then close it. All right, and then once you've been able to do that, the next thing I have now is the backslash re lambda t, and it's inside absolute. So the command for absolute is backslash abs for absolute.
ABS. Okay.
Abs, and if you still use that, if you use this same sign, it's still going to read it. If you are using overleaf, it's going to understand. If you use this same, because you can easily type this sign here is on your keyboard, or it's not there. You see it
Okay.
beside button Z. This sign, you see it beside
Yeah.
button Z. So
Okay.
can you hear me, ma?
Yeah. I can hear you.
So it's beside button Z, so you can. So I have absolute re lambda t, then I have this double greater than sign, then minimum follows the same thing. So let's say we have this as absolute. If you type this, what's going to happen? And if you use the backslash abs command, what's going to happen? So we'll get to know after running it on overleaf. But let's still maintain this sign, and then this is re. Okay, do you know that this re will not appear in a very nice way because it's still under the dollar sign? So I'm taking it as text, just like the
mm,
way I have it here. I'm taking it as text. So I'll just advise you to write it as text and then maintain re. Okay, followed by lambda t.
okay.
But don't worry,
You say
I'll still tell you the command name.
lambda text.
Once I get overleaf, I will definitely see this command.
Okay, okay,
So I will still give you the right command for
okay.
it. But let's still maintain it as text and see what we have. So I have lambda subscript t, right? So then I can go ahead and close the absolute sign and then use the, if you use the double greater than sign, it's going to appear like this. So I'm very sure there is a symbol for this too, and the symbol I'm going to tell you once it gets overleaf. And after that, I have
Mm,
mean. So whatever I have here too, I'm going to copy it, copy and paste. You copy and paste, all right? So
mm,
the only difference is just for you to put, replace this max with mean. You only replace the max with mean, so it's still the same thing, right? That is, use
mm.
backslash text, then minimum subscript t. You still have the same thing. T is 1 2 with the L dots with M, and then you close it, and then you put your absolute sign the way you have it. So once you are done with this, then on line 15 I don't have any paragraph, so don't leave space. Just go ahead and type where lambda t is equals to 1 2 L dots backslash L dots. This one must be inside bracket though. Must be inside bracket. Alright. Up to M.
Okay.
Then you close the dollar sign. Ah,
What is this? Is it dollar sign?
which one? This one?
This one.
Lambda. Lambda. Back
This. No, before lambda.
is dollar sign.
This one.
This, see, I'm following what we have. Oh. This is a mathematical expression.
Okay,
So you should know
okay,
that you start with the dollar sign.
okay,
No, no,
okay,
you should start with the dollar
okay,
sign. It's a
okay,
mathematical expression. And you are not supposed to write lambda. Oh. It's backslash lambda. Oh. Backslash lambda.
okay.
Backslash lambda. Then subscript t, Or do you let me write it very well. This pen is not writing very well. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong.
Sorry.
Begin with a dollar sign, backslash lambda, subscript, then you open a bracket, you put t is equals to 1 2 1 2, then L dots backslash L dots, then M, and then you close the bracket,
Mm,
and then you close the dollar sign, put comma, and then you start typing. I don't think there's comma there. There's no comma. There's no comma here. Or is there comma? There's no comma. So you can remove this comma at the eigenvalues of of a. So then it follows that the ratio is this. So the ratio now is given to us in as equation 1. So if you want to write an equation, we always start with begin equation, and then you end the equation as well. So that means this is what I need to type in between the begin equation and end equation. So, and if you want to write
okay.
these big brackets, this big bracket now should be backslash left. You always use backslash left, and then you open the bracket that you want, which is the square bracket, and then you go ahead and type max, and then you want it to appear below, so there is a way you need to write your code for it to display this way. So now I want us to try to type the codes that we have from input 1 to 15 before we now move to input 16. All right, from 1 to 15. So that's what we want
Okay.
to type now, from 1 to 15. So let's see how it's going to be from here,
15.
from the beginning here. Yeah, sure. So
Yes.
to do that now, that means I need to minimize and then head over to overleaf, right?
Mm.
So I have my overleaf here. So I hope you are with the question. So I'll be viewing it from here.
Mm.
I'm going to check the question from here and type and then type it. Like I'm going to view the document directly from my phone and then type on my system. So that's why I'm asking if you still have the question with you.